Dr. Cox, thank you very much for being in Mañanitas Saludables. It's a pleasure to have you. Like I told you last Sunday, we will enjoy this interview because we've been knowing each other for almost 10 years, which I appreciate very much. We work together and I know you very well, and thank you very much. Well, the microphones are yours just to say hi to the listeners.
Well, good morning. Thank you very much, Dr. Pacheco, for inviting me down here. It's an honor to be on your radio show.
Thank you very much. Well, como decía el Dr. Cox es obstetricia y ginecología. Ustedes tienen los teléfonos para poder llamar con cualquier pregunta que esté relacionada a la especialidad del Dr. Cox. Dr. Cox trabaja en Los Ángeles, en diferentes hospitales, muy conocido, muy buena persona y tiene un temperamento excelentísimo. Dr. Cox, well, we always ask to everyone who comes to the show, you know, are you from California?
Oh, yes, I was born here in California. I was born, I guess, what is now called South Central, and I lived on the east side for most of my early life. When I say the east side, I lived near Brooklyn Avenue, which is now called Cesar Chavez. That's how.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's right there, close to the hospital, USC, all that way. White Memorial. Right. Yeah, well,
yeah,
nice.
A number of years. Lived all over.
All over, of course.
So I'm familiar with the east side, the west side.
That's perfect. Yeah, I know. You've been working, you know, at Cedars, Centinela, Daniel Freeman, all over, just running all over, which, you know, is very nice. You know, it's very interesting because Dr. Piquet was also here. It was also for South Central. But I think the opinion of you two guys is totally different, which is very. I'm sure we will have time, you know, to be both of you guys, because it's, you know, to talk about, you know, not only medicine, about opinion, about government, about health insurance, all those kind of things. My next question: how long you been in practice?
I've been in practice for 27 years.
I think long time, a lot of experience, and you know, time's fly. Now, do you think your practice has changed over the years? I'm used to 25 years in practice, means in a good time. Yeah.
Yes, it's changed over the years. The type of practice, the practice has changed, and well, the type of patients I see have always been the same, because I've always treated the underserved, the patients that were underinsured or not insured. Yeah. That's been my practice. I come from the same type of place.
Exactly.
I've come from the other side of the tracks, so I know how it is to be on that side, and that's why I've always taken care of the Cal patients and patients.
Why did you decide to become a doctor? Did you follow anything in the family, or just?
Oh, well, actually, I was going to become a engineer. I had been working as a draftsman at Hughes Aircraft, and I was going into engineering. And then back in 1968, when they had the big slowdown, and engineering got slow, and I found my coworkers who had masters in engineering were pumping gas at Sears. I said, well, maybe I should change my role. So I went into medicine.
You love it.
Because I was at the point where you take the harder physics for engineering and the easier physics for medicine. And I said, well, I'll go into medicine. That's more stable.
Very stable, excellent. Yeah, well, the same thing kind of happened to me. I was planning to be an architect. And, you know, when I arrived to the university, and well, you know, everything was closed. They said, you have to wait almost a year for me. What is open? Medicine. Then I better stay there until, you know, at least I'm in the university. Then, you know, I started medicine, you know, I love medicine. I've been there for all these years. That's what happened, you know. It's to some people, they want to be a doctor. For some reason, they already know they want to become a doctor. Next question. Have you noticed any changes in your practice because of the economy?
Yeah. People are not coming in as frequently as they used to. you know, have to be more frugal, and especially if they don't have insurance. And even with the insurance, the state insurance, it's been tougher to get, and people have a harder time. So I've noticed that there's been a slowing in the people that come.
Okay, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's the same happening, you know, to all doctors. I mean, the economy has been so tough. I mean, it's just unemployment is getting rising. I guess it's little recovery, it's a little bit, but they say saying that next year is going to be even bigger unemployment.
I think one of the other major problems is there's been so much fraud in medicine lately. Lately,
even though we are, you know. Oh my God, that's terrible.
It's getting better because the government is now trying to take care of that, and they're monitoring a little closer. But still, people find a way to.
What do you think about those IPAs? Do you think it's a good idea to have those here?
I never really liked the IPAs, but that's a problem that we have that is going to stay and going to be here.
Now, all the IPAs are having financial problems now. Who's paying? The hospital, doctor, patients. I mean, they deny stuff. They, you know, it's just terrible. I don't know what is the future. I don't know. I mean, all the IPAs are having financial problems. I mean, but it's going to be to the point that somebody has to take over. I mean, like the health plans.
Well, the problem, I think, is that the insurance companies are dictating what they're going to pay and what they're not going to pay, and each year we get cut. The doctors get cut each year, and we get less and less, even though our expenses keep going up. Our rent goes up, cost of living goes up, supplies go up. Supplies have become very like in the 80s. We used to have gowns that wouldn't tear. Now your gowns now, you give them to a patient, they're all torn up. By the time you get to the patient's room to see the patient, the gowns are torn. Yeah. That's just one of the things that are happening. It's happening even in the grocery stores. They're giving you a bigger box with less in it, so make it seem like it's a better deal, but they're charging you the same and giving you less. Yeah. And that happens. It's happening in the medical field, it's happening in our field. And most of the insurance executives, you know, they get their bonuses by denying care, denying the patient care, denying the doctor his due fee, and they get these big bonuses at the end of the year, which is part of the problem. And I think with the health care system the way it is now, if they would take the money that we have, say the money that Obama gave in bonuses, if you take that money and you use that money to insure everybody, it would have gone a long way towards solving some of the problems of the uninsured. I mean, that's cheaper than what they're planning on doing now, which is a $15 trillion plan.
Okay, that's the next question.
Another way to save, I think, is if you, I mean, abortion is really not a healthcare issue. It's an elective issue, and that's not a mandatory thing that you need. That's something that someone electively decides to do, and they want to put that in as coverage, and that'll increase the cost significantly. I mean, we're always, as taxpayers, we're paying out $250 million to Planned Parenthood right now, and there is now a law which was re-signed into office once Obama came off that we now fund abortions overseas, and so our federal money is going there. I mean, that you stop that money, put that into the insurance plan, and that's a large portion of money we can find to help the uninsured.
Uninsured, of course.